Welcome to the Diversity Scholarship Foundation's Profiles in the Law. I am your host, Justice Jesse Reyes, and the current president of the Diversity Scholarship Foundation. And this is a continuing series of conversations that we're having with distinguished individuals in the legal profession. And today we happen to have two members of the Diversity Scholarship Foundation who are very much active in the selection process of our scholarship recipients. And it's my pleasure to have Judge Barbara Flores and Neha Tannen, who are both co-chairs. Our third co-chair, Ms. Erica Bird, unfortunately couldn't be with us today, but she has these two stellar representatives that are going to talk about the committee, the process, for those of you who might be interested in applying for scholarships, and then also the various scholarships that we do have available. Just by way of background, I should mention that the Diversity Scholarship Foundation is a 501c3 organization established by a small group of lawyers and judges around the early 2000s. The reason why we established it was because we saw that there was a lack of diversity, and we felt that we needed to try to address it. And one of the ways that we decided to do it is by providing scholarships to young college students who are interested in going into the law, taking the LSAT, and then also young law students who were seeking to further their education in the law school and then go on to have legal careers. So one of the things that it should point out is that we started out, the purpose of the foundation was to promote diversity and inclusion, and we started out, the first event that we had was a small group of bar presidents. There were about 11 bar associations represented, and we had them swear an oath to promote diversity and inclusion in the legal profession and in their bar associations. Annually, we have a dinner where we continue this tradition of swearing in bar presidents, and now it has grown to over 50 bar associations who attend every year the annual dinner and swear to the oath that they were going to promote diversity and inclusion in the legal profession. And this year's, or I should say next year's, dinner will be on January 18th, and it'll be at the JW Marriott. And anybody wanting any information about the dinner itself can go on our website. So without further ado, I'm going to start by turning the program over to Judge Flores, who has been one of the original members on the scholarship committee, to talk about a little bit about the committee itself, the people who are on the committee, and the process that they utilize for the selection of the recipients. Judge Flores?
Thank you, Justice Reyes. So I am Judge Barbara Flores. I have had the privilege of being a chair and now a co-chair with my colleagues Neha Tannen and Erica Bird since about 2014 on the scholarship committee. The Diversity Scholarship Foundation does have various types of scholarships. Our scholarship application period has closed for this year with one exception, which I'll talk about in a moment. And we have several types of scholarships that are available every year to law students, as well as one category of scholarship that is available to a college student, an undergraduate student who is actively engaged in registering or studying for the LSAT. First scholarship that we have is the Gerald S. Solovey Diversity Scholarship. It was named after a very well-respected Chicago trial lawyer, Gerald Solovey, and it is a scholarship that is awarded to students who actively advocate for diversity within the legal community and try to highlight the pro bono work within the legal community. We have the Public Interest Advocate Scholarship, which is what it sounds like. It is geared toward law students who are interested in public interest work. We have the Leaders and Achievers Scholarship Award, which is also, as it sounds, it is geared toward law students who really demonstrate their leadership skills and use those skills to help achieve diversity and inclusion in their law schools or within their communities. We have a law student with a disability award, which was originally established by some attorneys who were helping law students with disabilities in the community, and has expanded to law students that are attending accredited law schools. And I'll talk about the range of applicants. We also have the Bar Exam Prep Scholarship Award, which is one of the most sought after. Those are awarded to 3L law students that are going to be graduating and taking the bar exam and studying for the bar exam, as well as the LSAT scholarship, which, as I mentioned, is awarded for an undergraduate student who is actively applying to an accredited law school. The one scholarship that we have, which is new this year, is with the Public Interest Law Initiative, known as PILLI, and it is a paid internship with an Illinois public interest agency. There is an award for $3,250 for work of about 200 hours during a semester. That new scholarship and internship is available, and applications are being taken currently until those spots are filled. We expect through early December. Applications can be found at diversitychicago.org, and we do encourage any students who are watching to please go ahead and apply. The scholarship committee is composed of currently 13 evaluators that are composed of judges and lawyers in the community. The scholarship co-chairs and the committee meets and evaluates all of those applications for the various scholarships, makes recommendations to the Diversity Scholarship Foundation Board, and ultimately we award at the Unity Gala set for January 18th a variety of scholarships to students in those categories. Justice?
So we also have with us Neha Tannen, and she is the closest to, in terms of having taken the bar exam and having taken the LSAT. And Neha, could you at least state a little bit of what the importance of those two scholarships are for young students?
Absolutely. The LSAT Scholarship Award especially, I think, helps with a lot of undergrad students who have the intention of going to law school but haven't really decided on which law school yet. They haven't really just talked about or investigated the funds maybe necessary to do so. So if they're actively applying to an undergraduate, or strike that, law school, then they can apply for the LSAT Scholarship Award. And then the Bar Exam Prep Scholarship, a lot of law students enroll in programs associated with studying for the bar exam, so that helps offset the cost of those programs. When I finished law school, I was involved in one of those bar prep programs, and I think it helped significantly with my success in passing the bar exam.
All right, and then it also helps when we give the students a stipend as well, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, all right, and can you talk a little bit about what it's like, what are you looking for in the applications when you're
Sure.
Evaluating students?
Yeah, so when the students apply, there's 2 essays. We see their resumes, we see their transcripts, we see letters of recommendation across the board, and really it's just how they believe diversity impacts the legal profession, and we like to look at how they themselves are interacting in the legal profession, whether it be through, their jobs, their internships, their academic experiences, what clubs, organizations they're in, all sorts of things. It's a very holistic approach to the application process. We like to look at everyone case by case. We do consider their GPAs also, but we try to really hone in on the holistic approach to evaluating all of them one by one and based on their essays and everything else.
Thank you. Judge Flores, I think we should also mention the fact that the Foundation's geographic outreach is not just limited to Chicago or Illinois, correct?
Correct. So it originally began in Chicago and opened to Illinois law schools, but we have expanded it, and it is now open to students attending accredited law schools in Michigan, Indiana, and Illinois.
Thank you. So anybody that attends schools in those areas is eligible, correct?
Yes, in Wisconsin, excuse me. We are talking about expanding to Michigan. I misspoke. Wisconsin, Illinois, and Indiana, although we're coming for you, Michigan.
All right. Yes. And then one of the things I think I should mention is that since 2014, we have awarded over close to $500,000 in scholarships to over 150 worthy applicants. And out of those 150, about 119 or 120 of those recipients have been individuals who are identified as females.
We have had a lot of diversity, which we are proud of, and that is our mission. But it has been very interesting. We have a lot of women, a lot of persons who identify as female, yes, who have applied, and so they are coming through strong in our application process.
We've also seen a couple DACA recipients, which was really great to see, and awarded a couple of those. So, we love seeing the young people doing good things.
Yes.
Right. And one of our shining stars, I should mention, is Enrique Espinoza, who was a DACA student, and he's gone on to do some great things in the legal profession.
Yes, we really have had incredible stories. The scholarship committee is very, very lucky to be able to read about the things that these students have done and the lengths to which they have gone to make their legal careers come true. So we're very, very proud of them, and anyone who wants to know about our past recipients can go to the website.
Okay. And then one of the scholarships that you mentioned was the Leaders and Achievers Scholarship, which we just established, I think, about maybe 3 years ago. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
So the Leaders and Achievers Scholarship Award was created, as you say, a few years ago because we were seeing an enormous amount of applications for students that do public interest work, but they had a bent that really, really showed leadership. We had students that maybe were advocating for others, body of which they were not necessarily a part. So we had a scholarship recipient some years ago now that did an enormous amount of work with hearing impaired students and individuals based on an experience, a life experience that student had had. And so in creating this scholarship, we've been able to fill, I think, a little bit of a void for applicants and students that want to become lawyers to help advocate for others that doesn't necessarily fall into public interest or diversity as a whole, but it's really about leading their worlds and their colleagues, their partners in their lives into better things in the world.
And that segues us into the law students with disability scholarships. Neha, could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. We've had a couple applicants over the years with disabilities who really shine throughout their law student careers, and how their essays always focus on how their disability may have impacted the way in which they attend law school and they learn information and pass their exams, etc. And so it's always great to hear these, such success stories and try to help the diversity in the legal profession when we hear about the strides that they not only have taken to get to the points that they have, but also the way in which they tackle that adversity in, achieving throughout law school. So we've had a lot of great candidates over the years, and it's great to see, always.
Yeah, and one of our shining stars that was a recipient of that scholarship was Eric Jenkins, a young man who went to the University of Illinois College of Law, and then later on went to graduate and become a member of the State's Attorney's Office in Dade County, Florida. So one of the reasons I bring this up is also, although we would like our recipients to stay in Illinois and to stay maybe in Chicago or practice law if they become lawyers, but it's not a requirement. And Eric's an example of, he still gives back, even during the COVID crisis. He was on Zoom with us and participating with the committee. So Eric is definitely an example of someone who was a student here, graduated from a law school here, took the bar here, but then moved on to another state to practice law. Besides the scholarships, we also have the bar president swearing in ceremony, and would you both like to chat about that a little bit, Judge Flores?
Sure. The swearing in of the Bar Association presidents is one of the most fun, I would say, in gala parades that you will see at these legal events. You have the bar presidents every year, and they change in most of these organizations. There are over 50. We would probably need to count to see how many we have now. And they have an opportunity to participate in an oath that is given every year to continue to promote diversity in their organization and in the legal community, and it's really a lot of fun to see them all. They all have a great time, and it fosters relationships among those bar associations, not just with the foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. We see, everything from like minority bar associations through, bar associations that promote LGBTQ rights. So we loved seeing the diversity in the profession, plus all of the diverse organizations represented during the parade. It's a sight to see.
Yeah. And what's nice about the Bar President's Parade is that this is an opportunity for all these bar presidents to get together, to start talking, networking, coming up with ideas, and actually some initiatives from some of the bar associations have actually come out of these conversations, and they've helped to further the effort of diversity and inclusion in the legal profession. So we always welcome all the bar presidents. For those of you who are current bar presidents, we hope you will join us at the dinner to have your, and we like to say, your moment in the sun, where you get to go up on the stage and then have the oath of diversity and inclusion administered to you by usually a prominent judge in our judiciary, state and federal. One of the other programs that we like to talk about that we have started through the Diversity Scholarship Foundation is our First Generation Mentor-Mentee program. This is a program that we started a number of years ago, realizing that many first-generation students, whether they're college students or law students, sometimes are not familiar with the inner workings of the law school, of college, of life in law school and college. What should they take? What shouldn't they take? What type of programs should they get involved with? So what we've done throughout the years is establish this program where we put students with a judge or a lawyer who's first generation. And particularly one of the things that we do with our program is that we try to place the student with someone that the student has an interest in. So, for example, if it's litigation, then we'll put them with a judge who hears litigation matters or a lawyer who practices in the area of civil litigation or criminal litigation. It's a program that has, I think, helped out many students throughout the years. I've always gotten a lot of rave comments from the students, particularly in terms of how they enjoyed the process. Our chair this year happens to be Judge Daniel Trevino Jr. He's doing a fantastic job of putting this program together and getting the students assigned to mentors who will serve as mentors throughout the academic year. We don't encourage any further contact after that, but a lot of the students and the mentors do stay in contact with one another. They actually become very good friends in the process. So it's a worthwhile program and effort that I think is definitely helped out many. Neha, would you like to?
Yeah, I've been in the mentorship program on both sides, as a mentee, as a young lawyer, and now as a mentor. I cannot stress how important the program was for me as a first generation lawyer. Nobody in my family was a lawyer. I was the first one. And so you learn so much just by being able to talk to someone who's been in your shoes, whether it be, volunteer a couple hours a month, see different practice areas, interact with different practice area communities, to how to interact with your bosses at first, in a law firm setting. I worked for a judge at some point, how to interact with the judge or the judicial clerks or the staff, how certain judges like things to be. I think it's just an invaluable experience as a mentee, and also now as a mentor. I think that there's still so much to be learned about how, the new generation interacts with problems, legal problems, how they write, how technology is starting to creep into our world. I've been attending some meetings on the interaction of AI in how we do legal research. This is fascinating stuff that I think the younger generation is going to have a leg up on. So I think it's a great program. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I really enjoyed it on both sides, now I'm about to be a mentor, so I'm very excited about it.
And in your case, you weren't originally from Chicago, so you weren't familiar with the law school or the city itself.
That's
right?
true, that's true. Or any of the politics associated with it.
Yeah. Judge Flores?
So I have loved participating in the mentorship program. I've done it for several years since it was instituted, and it's a wonderful way to give back. I also had no lawyers in my family, certainly no judges, and it was only through the kindness of some lawyers that I met through happenstance, through an employer that I had who I had a son that was a lawyer at a big law firm. They had actually a daughter who was also an attorney. So I was able to find my way, but it would have been wonderful to have that sort of support of someone who could say to me, this is what you might want to look into if you want to practice this type of law. If you don't know what you want to practice, these are some ways that you can educate yourself, not only through elective courses in law school, but as you say, in giving back to the community. There are a lot of organizations that you can contribute to and get a little bit of insight into what the legal profession might look like for you in the future. The program itself, I'd also think, and I think, Neha, if your experience has been the same, it really provides a safe space for a mentee to speak with a mentor very frankly and ask the questions that they might be afraid to ask in a more public forum, so that they can conduct themselves better and get further, present themselves better in each different scenario as they proceed in their law student career. So I love it, and I hope that anyone who is interested, whether it's for this academic year or in the future, might reach out. And the email address for that program is dsf.first.generation@gmail.com. So if you are a lawyer or a judge who wants to participate, you can email there for this academic year.
Great. And then finally, one of the other programs that we have that we always enjoy participating and getting people involved in is our CLE program. And it's our current chair is Judge Amy Alonzo, but Judge Flores is a past chair. Is there anything you'd like to say about the CLE program?
The continuing legal education program and public information seminars that the Diversity Scholarship Foundation puts on, we do completely for free. So we do this as a service to the legal community and to law students and the public when we put out public information seminars to be able to inform people of what is coming to bear. For example, when there are new laws that pass, we do CLEs to inform people, and we have had legislators speak. We have certainly prominent attorneys and judges speak on a variety of topics. So we're very, very proud of that, and that has been ongoing since 2015. So it's a long-standing program, and we also do this with other bar associations as well. So we co-sponsor with various other bar associations, the North Suburban Bar Association, the Women's Bar Association, Chicago Bar Association, Black Women Lawyers Association. So we have done a lot with a lot of organizations, so we're very proud of it. Look at the diversitychicago.org website for any upcoming CLEs.
All right, and we should also let our viewers know that we usually conduct these during the noon hour, and we usually spend about a little bit, maybe an hour up to a little bit over an hour, correct?
Right, they're usually done over the lunch hour, and we have with recent technology advancements and the pandemic, if it produced anything good, I suppose it got us together on Zoom so that we could do these things and folks could join, whereas they might not previously have been able to physically join us.
All right, and then again, going back to the PILI, or Public Interest Law Initiative internship, we're still accepting applications, correct?
We are through early December, probably the first week. It depends on when those positions are filled, but we are still accepting applications.
And again, this is a internship where a young law student who's already has their first year under their belt, right, will get to work with a not-for-profit agency and actually do some actual lawyer type of work.
Yes.
Under the supervision of a lawyer.
Yes.
But it's fascinating work, and it's a way to give back to the community.
It is. It really is a great way for students to get their feet wet and figure out where they want to go. It's wonderful.
Well, I want to thank our guests, Judge Barbara Flores and Neha Tannen, for being here today and to kind of lay out some of the initiatives and programs that we have at the Diversity Scholarship Foundation. We welcome you to go on our website and see what we have to offer. If you're a student, definitely keep it in mind to apply for a scholarship. If you're a college student and you want to take the LSAT, and same thing with regards to law students who already have completed their first year of school, to definitely look at some of the scholarships that we've given out in the past. And as I indicate, the scholarships we give out are pretty sizable in terms of financial amount. So I think it's worth at least exploring for those of you who might need some financial assistance, which is speaking for most students, I think. But again, it's been a pleasure to have all of you viewing us, and we will continue on next month with another member of the legal profession. Again, we want to thank you for joining us on the Diversity Scholarship Foundation's Profiles in the Law.